Hi friends, this is Beth McCullough. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Des Moines, Iowa, and I do live videos every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central with my sweet husband, Steve.
Hi everybody.
Welcome, we are so glad you're here. Please say hello, tell us where you're from, and what you're up to tonight. So it looks like Bridget's on, and she needs a man with a screwdriver.
Actually, it's Bev that needs the man with the screwdriver.
Isn't that what I said?
No, you said Bridget. Bev is building shelves, and she's very frustrated that she's going to have to tear them apart and start over again. I've already reassured her that, in fact, I usually have to take multiple runs at my projects.
So,
I've been known to have to try 3 times to get an IKEA bookcase together. So, you know, it happens.
hello, Bridget and Janice, Anita, and Patty, and Becky. We are so glad you're here.
Yes, we are.
Steve, can you move this camera a little bit so I can stand over here? Can you twist it? Paying bills. That sounds like fun, Anita. Oh, Tony, thank you for sharing the video. Anyone that would like or share the video, it really helps.
So if
hello, Jean.
You just witnessed my job as assistant demonstrator. I moved cameras.
Kimberly Barbish. Okay, that is not his only job. Do you guys want to hear his new job? Did we announce this last week already?
Yeah, I think so, but... Oh!
Cheers. Can you guys see this? It's not on any camera, is it? Okay, let's go up close. Our dear friends brought these over to us. It says, promoted to grandma, established 2024, and promoted to grandpa.
Yay!
So, how awesome is that, Steve?
Awesome. I got to hold the young man today.
So, Steve had COVID when we got home from our trip, and he spent all last week not being able to hold the baby. I didn't get to hold him until Friday, but I held him Friday and Sunday and today. We had work to do this afternoon, and we snuck away and went over there and held the baby while our kids slept.
And they're funny, you know, they're excited to see us when we come, and then very quickly they fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because they don't get to sleep at night with the newborn, and, you know, we just feel really good about helping them out because then we get to play with the baby.
Yes. Hello, Kimberly and Christine, Jean, Shoot, Ann Hoffman. Gosh, we are so glad you're all here. Hello,
Maria's
Maria.
here. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I have a few cards to show you before we get started. Look at this, you guys. Is this not darling? I love this. This is from Mary Hazlitt Harris. I couldn't remember if it was Harris Hazlitt or her. But anyway, Mary in Colorado. She is a very sweet friend of mine.
Cute.
It's an Easter bonnet.
Yes.
Isn't that awesome?
It
you guys,
reminds
maybe, have you seen these?
Of all the little girls that we got to see at church with their dresses and bonnets, and that's always so cute.
So it's got the deckled circles, and then it has a stitch shape circle that's in between those 2 layers. I just love that. Thank you so very much. It's an Easter card. I got this from Brooke. Brooke is on my team. Isn't it pretty?
Yes.
So this opens this way. Another flower here, opens this way. A beautiful verse. May your day be filled with positive thoughts, fabulous friends, bountiful blessings, and many magnificent moments. May God bless your day. And I wish that for all of you as well. And a sweet note. And I love how this, can you see this? How should I put it? It shuts this way, this way, this way. Awesome card. Thank you so much, Brooke. And look what came in the mail today. It is our first baby congratulations card. Tony, you're on tonight. And this came from Tony. She also said thank you for the fudge. Tony and Jean came to Houston, and they got a piece of fudge from Steve. And you know, what a beautiful card, Tony. Thank you.
I love spreading joy. And for me, joy is fudge. Or any other chocolate for that matter. But
yeah, spreading joy. There was this old stamp set. I'm going to do something with this. I just found it earlier today. Look at this piece of toast that says spread joy. That is what we're all about, people. Make the cards with joy. Spread, send them out, spread the joy. I just love that. So that's our goal here, isn't it, Steve? Spreading joy.
It is.
Okay. So this was on my blog on Friday. You might have seen it on Festive Friday. And I asked Steve if I should make a new card, and he wanted to know how to put this card together. And you know what I didn't do? I don't have the flowers ready for that. So we'll skip the flower part. But it's the mechanism on how to put this together. Isn't this fun? I love this card. Jean says the fudge was yummy. You gave it to your husband?
That's love right there.
That is. I'm sorry. I would have eaten it all and not told Steve that someone gave it to me.
What?
Sorry, Steve. Okay. So we just got done for the last hour with Stamping Joy Club, making a darling card. I can't show it to you because I messed mine up a little bit. But that might be the card for next week. We'll have to see. Yeah, I hope everyone has a wonderful Easter. Jean says hers was a little cold and dreary. You know, ours was too. But inside the church, it was full of happiness and joy. Steve actually didn't get to go to church. He was still with his COVID. So I took my parents, and that was fun.
But I watched it. Luckily, at our church, we get to watch online. And I sang with all the songs. And actually, it was moving.
Yeah. And you sing to the baby. You'll have to get to that when I have some coloring to do. But tonight, the set we're using is called Fluffiest Friends. I don't know. What would you think, Steve, if I told you you were my fluffiest friend? I know you would have to say it to me because I'm a lot fluffier than you are.
it's one of those, backhanded compliments, I guess. I would love it that, you think that I'm your friend, the fluffy part. That's so shaky. It
is a darling set, and it is an online exclusive. So I would highly recommend it. I think it's fun. The sentiment that I used is in Go-To Greetings. This is going away. And, you can get the things. They're while supplies last right now. And then on April 9th, there's discounts on many, many items that are retiring. So keep that in mind. Okay, should we get started with this, Steve?
Let's make a card.
Okay. I just think it's super fun. We have the tree branch out here and the bees. And the bear actually goes in front like this. And then when you open it, there's another tree branch holding the beehive and the little grass and the flowers. What do you guys think? Do you like this? Hello, Holly. I'm so glad you're on.
So that bear holding his honey pot, that's kind of what I look like when I'm eating fudge. When I've got my
do you eat fudge out of the pot like that, Steve? Now they're like, ooh, we don't want any.
No, after the fudge has been poured and I have to go clean the pot out.
Okay, that pot.
That pot is the one where I actually decide to do quality control because I've got to make sure that it's a good batch, right? Yeah. I have to render a verdict. So.
Oh, Janice and Becky, I'm glad you guys like this. Okay, let me tell you how to make it. I have a few measurements. Oh, Steve, I have a couple graphics I wanted you to show too.
Okay.
People have started emailing me. I do catalog shares with every catalog. And yes, I'm doing them. Do you see the annual catalog? Yep. I am doing the annual catalog product shares. I do DSP, ribbon, and embellishments. And I would love to include you in one of my shares. Just email me and tell me you want it. I have to admit we have not gone through the which products are going to be included. Typically, it's every new DSP and specialty paper, every new ribbon, and every new embellishment, unless it's super hard to package. But I try to give you everything. Bridget wants to share already. Thank you, Bridget. A lot of you buy them every time.
Yeah, and it's quite a deal, honestly. It's like you can't afford not to do it.
Yeah, and I don't have a graphic for this because I don't have it in my hot little hand yet. But for the stamp camp that many of you do, we do 3 stamp camps a year with the demos all over the world. And we are doing, oh, now I'm going to forget the name of it. We're doing the country birdhouse with the wood paper. So you get the stamp set and dies, 1 set of DSP. It's a mega suite. You don't one. It's called Country Birdhouse. The wood plank DSP, the embossing folder, the ribbon, and the embellishments. I think it's $86.75, and that will be June 14th and 15th. You order it from me with my host code starting May 1st. Okay. Have you thought about including the online DSP? Oh, Janice, I'm glad Country Birdhouse was on your list. Wait and don't get it. And do. I know you always do the stamp camp. I appreciate that, Janice. Bev always does the stamp camp too. Thank you. Yeah, you let me know if you want everything sent to Florida or Ottumwa. Some of us who stay in Iowa, well, I shouldn't say that. We were gone.
Miss Cayman.
I was going to give you a hard time, Bev, but I don't think I can. So, yes, go ahead and let me know. It'd be great if you'd email me about, oh, thank you, Kimberly. Did you spotlight her comment?
I did.
Kimberly always gets the shares and the stamp camps, too. You guys are so incredible. I appreciate you.
Shout out to Jeanne and Sandra who joined.
Oh, and Chris just got on too.
Yeah, she did. Hi, Chris.
Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let's make a card here. I'm using crumb cake, and Steve has work to do, so pray for him. Yeah, the bear is cute, Jeanne. So, crumb cake, we're doing 5.5 by 8.5.
Hey, wait, do you have...
Becky, thank you. I'm glad you like my shares.
Let me get the...
I try to make them economical and include everything. Okay, crumb cake, 5.5 by 8.5. And then I scored 2 1/8 from this side. And well, it's right here. 2 1/8 from this side. Okay? Then we're going to take another piece of cardstock. This one is the next measurement, Steve. It's 4 by 5.25. And you see it here attached to my paper, and I'll tell you why. So this big hive die, I'll take this off and redo it, okay? So I took my hive in the middle of the 4 by 5.25 paper, and I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So can you see that's gone, right? Now you have to do it on both ends so that the hive is in the same place, right? So this is 4 by 5.25, and it's a 1/4 inch smaller. So I lined it up here. So I have a 1/4 inch showing on the top, the side, and the bottom. And I ran it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Then I picked it up, and I'm going to do it on the other side, but I wanted to show you this before I did it. But that means Steve has to go do it. So I'm going to take the die again, and all I'm doing is lining it up so that we have a 1/4 inch, not really a 1/4 inch, it's really 1/8 inch. You know, the basic layer that you put on the cards. And Steve, you're going to have to run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, okay? You need to leave that plate on there. You need a bottom plate.
Well, where's the top plate?
The plate's right there. Okay. I'm going to have to tease him now because I'm like, remember, here's how to do it. Is it going to fit in on the sides? While he's doing that, we'll just talk among ourselves. Becky, I bought this set and I'm not sure where I put it. You know, I've done that a couple times too. I try really hard not to rebuy sets. I think paying for them once is enough. Oh, Janice, thank you. I'm glad you're going to do Stamp Camp. Look at that, dude. Good job. Okay, so now we have the base, and it's going to come around and be like this.
It's not lined up.
Oh, it's close enough.
Can we do some snipping?
Here, we'll go this way. It has to be lined up.
I must have moved it before I got it in there.
It's okay. You know something? I love you more than your Stampin' Cut and Emboss skills, so it's going to be okay.
Get the little pair of scissors and just trim this part right here.
Okay. Okay.
But then it's going to trim off the
guys,
rim thing.
No, it's okay. We're gonna have paper over the top of it.
Okay.
First, I must tell you, Steve McCullough gives me a hard time and says I'm a perfectionist. You guys tell him he's okay.
I only had one job to do.
Actually, you have 2 jobs to do. Okay. He's being very perfectionistic. Do you know on the camera? Can someone please tell him you can't even tell? Look, these little shavings, it doesn't matter. It's all good. Okay. So now we're going to take this piece and take the tape off. Does anyone use this? Instead of using washi tape, I use this tape when I have to tape my dies down. And it generally doesn't rip the cardstock, which which I like.
Yeah, that would be a bonus.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer when it does rip it. Okay, so we didn't practice this part. Every week I say this week won't be a train wreck, but okay. So now we're gonna bring our trimmer over, and you know that half of this is 4 inches, so I'm just gonna put the left edge at 2 inches, and I'm gonna cut down the center of this. Okay, and then these 2 pieces, can you put these through the Stampin'? Actually use the old Big Shot because I have that set up for the embossing folder. We're going to put the 2 pieces inside here. This is the painted texture, and this just became an online exclusive. And if you haven't noticed, anything that was in the catalog that went to online exclusive, it's already there. So you can go and look at that already and see what the online exclusives are. And look at that. That was pretty perfect. Tony says it is reality live. Yeah. So, do you want to talk about
James? Absolutely, I want to talk about James. Here's the thing.
Steve's new favorite subject. Actually, let me tell you what I'm going to do here first, okay? And another thing that I would do, but it doesn't really matter in this case, but if you're going to stamp and run through an embossing folder, you want to stamp first. But we're going to put some bees on here, and the way this is done, it doesn't really matter, okay? But in a perfect world, you would just stamp it first before you ran it through. But this had lots of space, so it didn't matter.
Can I talk about James now?
Yeah, I feel like I should say what else I'm going to do first, but should I not?
No. It's your show, literally.
Okay, we're going to put those off to the side and let them rest for a minute. And we're going to go on and put the inside of the card together. We'll come back to that, I promise. Okay, we have Early Espresso. It's 4 inches by 5 1/4.
Wait, our embossing folder was the painted texture embossing folder?
Yep, and you did that already.
Okay.
Good job. Mary Harris, I don't think you were on in the beginning, but look at this beautiful card I showed everyone that you sent us for Easter. I absolutely love this, and everyone got to see it when they first got on. But I'm glad you're here now. Okay, this is Early Espresso 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to put this inside the card. And what this is supposed to be is this is the tree that has the beehive on it. So you know another thing you could do? Like when you make a card over and over again, do you think of new things? You could... You want to do that hat card, Janice? We should do this. Mary, you need to teach us on Stamping Joy Club how to make your hat card. That would be awesome. But you could put this through the wood grain embossing folder. That would be cool too. But I am going to glue this in.
So my grandson. Everyone, I've seen this happen so many times. People always rave about their grandkids, about how perfect they are, how beautiful they are, how handsome they are. And I'm always skeptical because I figure, well, they're biased because they're grandparents. But here's the thing. My grandson is awesome. He really is beautiful and perfect. And I just, yeah, I'm already in love with the little man. And here's the other thing. He likes my singing. So I was over there.
So you like him even more.
Yes, well, he likes me. So I was over there all by myself, and the kids wanted to go take naps. And there were a couple times he started fidgeting.
To be clear, the
fussing.
kids are the adults who are the parents of the child. Do you guys do that, or your
the
adult
parents,
kids?
The parents wanted to go take a nap, and I'm like, of course. And so they did that, but he started fussing a bit. First of all, with his little hands.
Wait, he doesn't fuss for me.
He was hungry, right? He actually rolled over once and thought he was going to nurse on me, and it's like, nobody, that doesn't work. So, but he takes his little hands, and he's got to have them by his face. And he'll like do this, and he's got to have one hand up and one hand over, and it's just, but he's always got to have those hands free. If you swaddle his hands down, he gets mad. He's like, wait just a second. My hands are supposed to be by my face. So, when he was...
Can I butt in a second? Early Espresso Inc., the happy birthday also came to from the go-to greetings. On this one, I did thinking of you. On this one, I'm doing happy birthday. And I'm going to put this down here with a layer. And then I'm going to put some grass. And that's what I'll get out next. I prepped for you. I didn't want you to have to spend all night with us. But here's all the things that go on the card. Okay, go ahead, honey.
So as he was fidgeting, I'm thinking, what should I do? So I started singing to him. And I'm serious, he smiled at me when I started singing.
Babies who are a week old don't smile.
Well, he immediately calmed down. He immediately calmed down and smiled. And as long as I kept singing, he didn't fidget at all. And so I wrote a new song that just, again, it was just a Holy Spirit inspiration. And not exactly sure why, that song at that time. But it's after the year-long theme at church, which is about pursuing God's heart. The name of the song is I'm Pursuing Your Heart. Well, I'm sitting there singing this song to my grandson, and it strikes me, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm pursuing this young man's heart. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was one of those moments that I'm never going to forget. So, yeah, and they sent me a picture of him this morning, and of course he looked really cute, and I just sat there and looked at it for a while. I'm like, he's got me wrapped around his finger already.
It didn't take long, did it?
It didn't.
And what do you think? Is he wrapped around my finger as well?
Oh, yes. I witnessed that today.
I know you may not know this, but Steve and I are baby and kid people. We've been babysitting other people's kids for years just because we missed having kids and babies. And we tried really hard not to pressure any of our kids to get married or have kids. But wow, it's pretty amazing when they do it.
We were looking forward to it when it was going to happen, and we're happy now. But we're going to be happy with each and every one of our grandkids because they're all amazing, special gifts from God.
Yeah. So the grass, the leaves, the branches, the honey pot, it's all in this set. So you should get it out if you own it and play with it. It's funny, the tweezers I'm using right now are the exact opposite of the Stampin' Up! Tweezers. And so I'm like, why isn't it doing its thing? Because it's...
Okay, which of the remaining banners should I be showing at this point? You've got one that says Fluffiest Friends Bundle Online Exclusive.
Okay, did I tell you this white piece that I put in down here? Go back to that.
I've had that up for a while.
The Fluffiest Friend Bundle, that's what we're using. And the colors, if you want to know the colors of all these things, the beehive and the honey are Daffodil Delight. The honey jar is Cherry Cobbler. All the grass and the leaves are Granny Apple Green. The branch on the outside of the card is Early Espresso, and the branch on the inside is Crumb Cake. So that's what all that is. Are there any other ones,
Well,
Steve?
you've already said that the sentiment is go to greetings,
Yeah.
and then it's retiring.
Yes. Okay, so these flowers are also in the set. And that's something that didn't happen because we went to go visit James. So if you win this card and pick it, there is not a die cut for it. But I will stamp it and color it, and I will fussy cut it, and I will add it to this card. But I'm just not going to make you watch it. You can see it's just colored with Granny Apple Green, Daffodil Delight, and Cherry Cobbler. Can you guys see that? And it's fussy cut. Okay?
Cute flowers. I like the white outline.
Now we're going to go up here to this. I prepared this branch ahead of time. Crumb Cake with Granny Apple Green. Do the leaves however you want. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue. With liquid glue.
Surprised you're not using glue dots.
Yeah, that would be good too. with liquid glue, less is more. So, you know, I want this to be pretty high up because it's mirroring what's inside the card. Can you see that? I'm just putting that down. Oh, please stay. Maybe I didn't use enough glue. Do. We'll keep it. We'll have it stay. Okay.
It's the sound effects that made it work.
Now for the beehive, I cut that out with the die cut, and it's got lines on there. Pretty cute. It also has this circle. Well, so I thought, oh, I'll do it again in black. Well, then you would still have to fussy cut it. So what I used, some of you guys have been around for a long time. This is an old Stampin' Up! Punch. And this circle is 1/4 of an inch, as near as I can measure. And that's what I used. I cut it out of basic black, and I just glued it right on the hole that showed up on the beehive. If you don't have that, take a black Sharpie marker and just color in with black. It would do the same thing. So we are gonna pop that up, and you can see it's showing from inside the card. So I have 2 dimensionals on the back of that. I guess what I'm trying to say is if you don't have the same supplies, I like it that you can just do your own thing. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. I do want to put the beehive upside, right side up, but so we're going to put it right there. So the inside is done, except you can envision the 3 little cute flowers that are there, right? Just like this. Okay, now we're going to go back to the front of the card. I'm going to move my pieces over, and I'm going to glue these 2 sides on, and then I'm going to start decorating the card. With the grass down here, I cut out the grass twice, and I glued it together and layered it just to make grassier grass. What would you say about that, Steve?
It's very grassy.
If you take good care of your lawn and there's lots of it,
thick.
It's thick.
It's a thick lawn.
We're making a thick lawn here.
Yeah, and if your lawn is really thick, then weeds don't grow because they can't compete with the grass.
So I'm putting a thick lawn on the front of the card, and you can see it's sticking off over the top. So thick lawn goes there. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to finish coloring my sweet bear. I'm going to attach the honey. The bear, I stamped him on crumb cake with black Memento. And then I did the same thing onto daffodil and cherry cobbler. And then I fussy cut the dripping honey, and I fussy cut the honey pot. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that on, and then glue the honey on, and color the bear. So while I'm doing all that, ask questions if you have it. Otherwise, make sure you do the prize patrol, #prize patrol.
Been running that banner.
And, oh, Tony knows. You know, it's actually my special birthday this month, Tony.
It has a 0 behind it.
Yes, I am turning 60 the end of April. And, you know, Steve has been 60 for 6 months, so I've had a while to get used to it. But I am going to shut up, and I am going to start putting things together. And if you have any questions about the card, please list them, and Steve will tell me what they are. If you want to talk to Steve about James, he would love that too. Or tell us about your grandchildren. Most of you have way more experience than we do with grandkids.
And way more grandchildren.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I have to tell you, I'm very, very happy and impressed by the parents. They are being so intentional and serious about wanting to do everything correctly. They're looking things up. They're calling Beth and asking questions.
And Brienne's mom and her friends,
Yes.
I'm sure, not just me.
Not just Beth, but I mean, we're lucky that Brienne's family parents are in town too, so she's got them to call and get help from them, and they've been over to the house quite a bit helping them. And Brienne has been a rock star, determined to learn how to nurse the baby, and she's doing a great job at that. So yeah, it's just really heartening to see that they're getting into it and they're intentional about it, they're serious about it. They're going to be really good parents. So I know that already just by how serious they are with their newborn. So, and they've got plans. You know, I've already talked to them about all the things they want to take him to see and all the things they want to do with him. But, you know, I don't think it's going to matter when he's a newborn. So
they took him to his first outing today. Beth, are those thoughtful expression dies gone? You know, I don't think they are. If you go ahead and put the number in, did you do that and they're gone? Does anybody know? I have not heard that they're gone. I do really like them. And you know something? Okay, wait. It's coming back to me, Mary. They are gone. And the shipment that's supposed to come is going to arrive after the retirement date. And people are writing into the sandbox. If you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, write to Stampin' Up! Tell them you want the thoughtful expression dies. And yeah, they're gone. But I know they said there's another shipment coming in. So I think that there's a possibility. Patty, Lush Lawn, thank you. Yep, I was looking for that. There's a possibility that they might bring them back. Stampin' Up! Has done that before. If enough demonstrators write in and say, we really love this, please give this back to us.
It's like a protest petition. A revolt.
Do you want to talk about protest petitions?
I know something about that.
Unfortunately,
so when I was a senior in high school, our school board decided that they wanted our high school principal to retire, but he didn't want to retire. And he was a great guy, and we all liked him, and he did an awesome job at the school. So we decided we were going to protest and walk out of school and you know, do all of our stuff, and I got to be interviewed.
This was when Steve was a senior.
Yeah.
And his parents were like, oh, my goodness.
You are not going to be allowed to graduate. You're not going to be able to go to college. You need to think about what you're doing. They were really worried about me.
You're ruining your entire life.
And I said, don't worry about it. I'll be fine. And this has got to be done.
And I have a question. I did not participate in any of that because I am a rule follower.
Yeah.
But did I try to stop you?
No, you didn't.
I think I've always known I have no control over you.
Well, you were supportive from a distance.
I was going to graduate. I was not getting kicked out of school. So I would watch him get kicked out, but I was not.
So, yeah. I've got a little radical in me. But, yeah, it was also just, you know, end of senior year, boredom, needed to do something. It was time for a symbolic gesture, whether it was going to be successful or not. And so, anyway, that is my revolt revolution.
How did that come
story. I have no idea. But you know, it doesn't take much to get me telling stories. I was going
to say, what are we talking about and why?
Hey, I have a question for you.
What's that?
With your beehive and the bear and everything, I'm looking over here looking at this really cute bee dude, wondering if there's a way that he could have been incorporated in the card.
Maybe he could go on the envelope, do you think?
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Is he feeling left out up there?
Well, I've been looking at him whenever I look over at you and thinking, wow, this is about honey, this is about a beehive, and there's a bee.
Yeah. So with these leaves and things, just have fun. I think it's more fun to cut out a bunch of the things and then put them on. Tony says, I believe they're gone. Yeah, I have heard a whole story about those dies. So, Mary, if they're gone, don't give up hope yet, okay?
So, Linda Lace just joined us. Hi, Linda.
Hello, Linda Lace. We missed you on Stamping Joy Club.
So, my other story, completely unrelated, since, this is kind of my greatest hits.
Oh, can I tell him one more thing?
Sure.
The crumb cake bear, I'm coloring him with dark and light pecan pie. I'm just going to finish coloring him, and then I'm going to pop the honey pot on there. And we are just about done. Oh, Steve, can you do one more thing?
Sure.
Or I can do it later. When I put the bear on here, I cut out a second bear and put it on the back. Because when you color on the crumb cake, it shows through.
Ooh.
So, do you want to die cut another bear?
Sure. I can do that.
Okay. I think there's crumb cake over there, and here's the die. Can you talk while you do that?
I
Are you
can.
multi-talented?
So, here's the thing. We went to Ireland, and I'm Irish, and I truly enjoy traditional Irish music. And just as I was looking through my newspaper news feeds, I noticed that they said that tonight there was going to be traditional Irish music at one of the local pubs.
Okay, wait. Tell them how you approach me with this.
So
it's kind of, there's a lot on Thursday.
Tuesdays. This is Tuesday.
I don't know what day it is. How sad is that? It's a lot on Tuesdays. I'm a Bible study fellowship leader, so I lead my group in person on Tuesday mornings, and that takes up most of the morning. And then I do Stamping Joy Club for an hour every week with my team in the club. And then we do this. So usually when we're done about 7:30, we're a little late tonight, sorry. And typically it's 20-30 minutes for our videos because I try to get things done ahead of time. And I'm usually done when we get done. So Steve came over this afternoon, and what did you say?
So what do you say? I said two things. One, I said, if you've got the stuff cut and pretty much ready to go for the video tonight, I think we need to go see our grandson. And she said, okay, if you really want to, because she really wanted to.
And then I said it like that. I want to go see him whenever I can.
I know. But, you were worried about getting everything done, but I twisted your arm, and I knew holding the grandson would get her. So she said yes to that. And there's this old adage in sales that if you get somebody saying yes, that's the time to ask for more stuff. So I said,
Wait. That's how you do that?
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have told you that. So I had her saying yes. So then I said, you know what else we should do? After we get done with these videos, you're usually a little stressed out. Sometimes you'll let me pour you a glass of wine.
Not stressed out. I'm more tired.
Right, but
because I can't think of the name for Lush Lawn.
She gives her all on these videos. She wants to show up for y'all and do a good job. And so she's ready to relax when we get done. And I said, so why don't tonight we go to the Irish pub to relax, have a glass of wine, and listen to the traditional Irish music? And she said yes to that too. Actually, she said, because I love you, I'll do what you want to do.
Okay, you guys, do you think I want to go? I love Irish music, I do. And I love hanging out with Steve, but I would not typically do that on a weeknight.
Go to the pub. But, they're having this thing called a session where they have all the local Irish musicians just show up and do a jam session.
Do you think they're going to ask you to sing with them?
They might. Except it would have to be one of the traditional Irish songs, and I don't know the words to that many. So, anyway.
What's the one about the town that we heard?
The dirty old town?
The dirty old town.
Yeah. It's about Irish coal towns. So, Kathy Walton changed topics on me. She's asking me whether I'm going to watch the University of Iowa play UConn in the Final Four.
We were as thrilled as you were last night. You guys, we are graduates of the University of Iowa, and yes, we are cheering the Hawkeye women on.
And it was a magical game yesterday.
Yeah, we were so excited.
Caitlin Clark, we all know she's amazing, but honestly, she struggled so far in the tournament. She was having trouble making her three-pointers. That's why she was driving the lane so much. She's like, okay, I'll just score that way.
You guys, back of the bear. Steve cut another bear. I'm just going to glue that on. Doesn't that look better?
That looks a lot
We can't
better.
have a messy bear on our card.
Last night, Caitlin Clark lit it up. She hit 9 3-pointers, 5 of them in the second half, 4 of them in the third quarter. And they weren't just 3-pointers. They were what they call logo threes, which, you know, the edge of the logo that extends from a half court, shooting from 30 feet or beyond. So it was just one of those magical moments where it's like she couldn't miss. And she knew it, and she kept shooting. And it was pretty cool. So, yes, now they have UConn. UConn is the traditional powerhouse. This is the team that won 4 national championships in a row. So they are loaded, and they're going to be tough. It'll be a tough game. Be another really good game.
Can I interrupt you again? Now that we have the nice cover on the back of the bear covering up the markings from the blends, don't put glue all over the bear and glue your card shut. We're just going to put a little glue. See how he's sitting with his honey pot right down here on the edge? So we're just going to put a little glue along here and not risk ruining our card after all this work, right?
So his bottom kind of sticks out the side.
And his bottom sticks out underneath the other flap too. But it kind of goes up against the lush grass. And there's room that the brown is showing around the edge. So we're just going to stick him on there for a second here.
So, yeah, if you haven't watched women's basketball, this Final Four is going to be awesome. These games have been so exciting. And I am now a women's basketball fan. Now,
you know, Linda Lace and her husband, they've been women's basketball fans. And maybe you too, Kathy. Kathy, were you a women's basketball fan before the Hawkeyes got so good last year? We considered trying to get tickets or season tickets after last year, and we couldn't get them. So we were like a day late and $1 short, weren't we?
I mean, we've had football tickets and
we've gone to gymnastics meets.
We've even gone to wrestling meets, but no, we waited too long to try and get tickets. So Beth, I didn't tell you this yet. I did actually go online to see how much it would cost to go to the Final Four game.
How much would it cost?
Tickets are $1,560.
Oh,
and that's
my
for the
goodness.
nosebleed seat in the very top of the arena.
Oh my goodness.
So not happening.
Okay, you guys, here's the 2 cards. The only thing missing tonight is the 3 little flowers that are going to be popped up. And the card I made tonight says happy birthday, and the card before says thinking of you. You know, he's sitting there eating his honey. He's thinking of someone. He might as well be thinking of you, right?
Right.
So anyway, you guys, this is a fun card to make. I hope you'll make it. If you make it, would you send me a picture? And tell me what you did differently. Like I said, we could put wood grain on this early espresso. What are we doing here?
I'm trying to get ready for StreamYard.
Okay, we have 22 people in the entry. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook later, please put replay in there. And I would love it if you would all subscribe to my blog. Then you'll get a notification every time we go on. It's usually Tuesdays at 7. In fact, it's every Tuesday at 7. But then, like last week, I don't know if you all know this, but I did a catalog walkthrough of the 2 old catalogs, but what I focused on is what was carrying over, and whether it was in the new annual catalog or in the online exclusives. And some people wrote and said they really enjoyed that, and it was helpful if you take your stamp sets out and you want to know what's current. I really focused on what will be current after this catalog transition. So go back and look for that on YouTube if you haven't seen it.
And one last thing. You've heard Beth talk quite a bit about, right before this, she was online with Joy Club, and those gals just have a riot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. So
we hope you'll consider joining us, because it is a great community. We help you use your crafting supplies, and I offer many tutorials and also weekly crafting sessions and other things. Tomorrow night we're getting together and we're putting our sampler squares together that we did the last couple weeks. They've sent those in and traded, and they have them back again. So we'll make our sampler tomorrow night, and then in a couple weeks we're doing bingo. So we have lots of fun things we do in there, and I hope you'll join us.
Okay, here we go for Prize Patrol. And
And you can win once a month, and
The
it
winner
is April,
is
so anyone can win.
Kathy
Walton, congratulations. And Kathy, I know I have your address, but it's ironic. You sent me an updated address today, so I'll make sure I get the right one. But congratulations. Do let me know if you want the thinking of you or the happy birthday. Everyone have a blessed week. Please subscribe to our channel and come back next Tuesday. We love chatting with you. Have a great week.